Ferrari is planning a huge upgrade package for Spa, and it seems like Verstappen's team is aiming to add 0.3 of a second in performance to the SF-25. However, the feelings of Hamilton and Leclerc regarding the rear suspension are divided, and the Ferrari drivers could be having vastly different weekends in Spa. But will this upgrade finally bring Hamilton closer to the front and make him more competitive with the remainder of the grid? Or will it prove to be bad news for Leclerc, who is constantly begging to unlock more potential out of the car? The situation at Ferrari in 2025 is becoming more and more volatile. Some are calling for the team to abandon the current season and focus on 2026, while Verstappen is adamant that there's still more performance to be extracted out of the car. Be that as it may, Spa will see a massive upgrade being introduced to the car, a revised rear suspension. For the second time ever, Ferrari is addressing the issue that has plagued the performance of the 2025 Challenger ever since the season opener in Australia. The general belief is that it will add around 0.3 of performance over one lap. Whether this boost will be on race pace or over a single lap remains to be seen. What's interesting is that this upgrade, although major, should not surprise anyone familiar with Ferrari's current design philosophy. When Ferrari packaged the 2025 version of the car, they committed to moving the cockpit position rearwards. This shift meant the fuel tank and engine also moved backwards, forcing Ferrari to use a rear damper that couldn't quite control the movement of the rear suspension. While the damper doesn't determine the ride height of the car's rear, it does control the rate at which that height changes, especially when aerodynamic porpoising frequency interferes with the car's stability. This damper can affect and even change the frequency of ride height variations to avoid synchronization with aerodynamic separation and reattachment issues, which have plagued the car throughout 2025. Yes, Ferrari has also increased the anti-lift on the rear suspension's top wishbone forward leg, but the added performance from that is barely notable. Instead, Ferrari has chosen a more radical approach. They want to keep the rear lower under braking, offering more rear-end stability during braking and corner entry. From this perspective, it's clear Ferrari still holds hope for the championship, at least the Constructors' Championship. At Spa, we'll get a lot of answers about whether Ferrari understands what needed to be done. Still, expectations should be tempered. Yes, this is a big upgrade package. Yes, it's addressing one of the biggest, if not the biggest, weaknesses of the 2025 car. But more importantly, it shows that the Maranello Bay squad is not giving up on 2025 just yet. Hamilton's calls for a shift in focus to 2026 haven't been heeded. Even though he believes the chances for this season are slim to none, his opinion might change after the Belgian Grand Prix. Both Leclerc and Hamilton already tested the new rear suspension at Mugello, 200 kilometers of track time, 19 laps each, and their opinions have been shared. Hamilton reportedly has more trust in the car now after that initial private test. Leclerc, on the other hand, has reservations and doesn't think the car's behavior has changed dramatically. The more important point here is that these technical upgrades were overseen by Loic Serra, the new technical director for Mercedes. With him observing the test, the conclusion was that the new suspension was an improvement compared to how the car felt previously. As mentioned earlier, this is the second major revision for the SF-25. The first was a floor upgrade in Austria, which immediately helped the team secure P3 and P4 finishes. Of course, it required Antonelli and Verstappen being out of the race for that to happen. At Silverstone, we saw a massive improvement in one-lap performance. If Ferrari nails the perfect lap, they could be up there with McLaren and finally deliver the battle we've all been waiting for in the second half of the season. But did this development come too late? Should Ferrari already be focusing on 2026? The stats are disappointing. Ferrari has yet to secure a Grand Prix victory this year, aside from Hamilton's sprint win in Shanghai. That same race gave Ferrari crucial intel about ride height because both the seven-time world champion and Leclerc were disqualified due to ride height issues. If the new suspension gives Ferrari a wider range of setup options, the car should become far more competitive. Could we see the improvement as early as Saturday? Ferrari hasn't had poor race pace on Sundays. They've been running with McLaren. The problem is they've started too far back, forcing them to burn through tires to catch up. And by the time they're in a position to challenge, the tires are already gone. The Spa Grand Prix provides an interesting opportunity since it's a sprint weekend. Hamilton will have only 1 hour to test the upgrades before entering a competitive session. After that, Ferrari can make adjustments before qualifying. This will be another test to see whether Ferrari can maintain stability if the car finally performs well. According to Hamilton, one specific area still needs immediate improvement. If that doesn't get fixed from Spa onward, then there's no point in searching for further performance. Hamilton said, "We have low-speed understeer, which is inherent with this car. I think we're overdriving to get that extra bit of time, but on actual pure pace, the car is as quick as those ahead. We're probably having to do a little bit too much, which is making the car a bit peakier. So, we need to find a little bit more performance." There are also reports of work being done beyond the rear suspension, specifically on the power steering of the SF-25. While that upgrade won't come in Belgium, it is expected for Hungary. That's another signal that Ferrari is not yet ready to shift focus to 2026. It might not be the news Hamilton was hoping for, especially given his position in the Drivers' Championship.